Morning, Vananda. Today, I'm going to explain about the classifications of transformer. Okay, in the previous class, we will give the introduction about the transformer and what is the construction of the transformer and what is the working principle of a transformer. Okay, first of all, what is meant by transformer? It transfers the power from one place to the another place, or it step up or step down the voltage levels. Okay, it is a static device. It transfers the power from one place to the another place, or it step up or step down the voltage levels. Next, what is the working principle of transformer? Mutual induction. Okay, due to the mutual induction, when we are giving the supply to the primary winding, the output current will be obtained in the secondary winding. Okay, understand ma? Due to the mutual induction principle. Okay, that is the working principle of transformer. Okay, constructionally we are having the three parts in the case of a transformer. Okay, that is core, primary winding and secondary winding. Okay, we are considering as rectangular core. At that rectangular core, one side we are connecting the primary winding and other side we are connecting the secondary winding. Okay, the supply is given to the primary winding and the load is given to the secondary winding. Okay, there is no electrical connection between the primary and secondary winding, but it is mechanically coupled. Okay, due to the mechanical coupled between the primary and secondary winding, okay, we are producing the output in the secondary winding when we are giving the input to the primary winding. Okay, that is the construction and working of a transformer. Okay, now in the present class, okay, we are discussed about the classification of a transformer. How the transformers will be classified and what are the classifications are there in the case of a transformer. Okay, as for the phases, okay, as for the phases, the transformers are classified into two types. Okay, that is single phase transformer and three phase transformer. Okay, depending upon the phases, okay, these transformers are classified into two types. Okay, that is single phase transformer and three phase transformer. As per the core, okay, as per the core, the transformers are again classified into two types. Okay, that is, as per the core, the transformers are classified into two types, that is core type transformer and shell type transformer. Okay, so depending upon the core, that will be classified into, depending upon the core connections, okay, the winding connections, the transformers are classified into two types, that is core type transformer and shell type transformer. Okay, next coming to the, as per the cooling system, okay, in the transformer we are using the cooling. Okay, for reducing the heat dissipation in the windings. Okay, therefore we are using the cooling. Depending upon the coolings, the transformers are classified into three types: self-cooled, air-cooled, oil-cooled. Okay, self-cooled, air-cooled, and the oil-cooled transformers. Okay, these are the various classifications of a transformer. Okay, understand ma? These are the various classifications of a transformer. Okay, first coming to the, as for the phases, okay, it will be classified into two types, single phase and the three phases. As for the core, it will be classified into two types, that is core type and the shell type. Next, as for the cooling, it will be classified into self-cooled, air-cooled and the oil-cooled transformers. Okay, these are the various classifications of a transformers. Okay, first coming to the core type transformer. Okay, in the core type transformers, the windings are given to a considerable part of the core. Okay, the coil is used for these transformers are wound and are of the transformers. Okay, in the small size type, the core will be rectangular in shape and the coil used as a cylindrical. For small size missions, okay, the core is in the rectangular shape and the windings are in cylindrical. Okay, this is for large size type. Okay, we can see that the round or the cylindrical coils are wound in a such a way. Okay, in the case of circular cylindrical coils, they have very more advantages. Okay, these are the core type transformer. Okay, this is the limb rectangular coil. At that one side we are connecting the LV winding and the other side we are connecting the HV winding. Okay, this type of construction or the design is known as the core type. Okay, at one side we are connecting the one winding and other side we are connecting the another winding, and this is the laminated rectangular core. Okay, this type of construction will be used in the case of a small size missions and also in the large size missions. Okay, this is the another cross sectional diagram for that core type transformer. For low voltage windings are placed near to the core. Okay, the effective core area of the transformers can be reduced with the use of laminations or the insulations. Okay, this is another cross-sectional view for that core type transformer. Okay, this is the HV winding and this is the LV winding. LV and the HV. Next, coming to the shell type transformer. Okay, the core surrounded a considerable portion of the winding. Okay, this is the shell type transformer and this is the core type transformer. Okay, when we are observing both the figures, okay, in the core type transformer, one side we are connecting the primary winding and the other side we are connecting the secondary winding. Okay, in the shell type transformer, okay, at the middle of the limb, okay, at the middle of this limb, we are connecting the windings, both the windings, that is primary winding and the secondary winding. Okay, at the middle we are connecting both the windings. Okay, then this type of transformer are called as the shell type transformers. Okay, the coil are formed wound but are multi-layer disc type. Okay, usually wound in the form of a pancake. Okay, paper is used to insulate the different layers of disc. Okay, in that we are using the paper as the insulation. Okay, such transformers may be shaped of the rectangular shape for the distribution systems. Okay, next coming to the difference between the core type transformer and the shell type transformer. Okay, the winding enclaves the core. Okay, the core encloses the windings. Okay, in the core type we are using the cylindrical type coils. Okay, generally multi-layer disc type or the sandwich coils are used. Okay, in the shell type we are using the multi-layer or the sandwich coils. Okay, as the winding are distributed, the natural cooling is more effective. Okay, we are requiring the natural cooling. Okay, as the windings are surrounded by the core, the natural cooling does not exit. Okay, in that case we are does not exit the natural coolings. Okay, the coil can be easily removed for the maintenance. Okay, in the core type transformer, the coils can be easily removed. Okay, for removing any windings, for maintenance, a large number of laminations are to be removed. Okay, this is the difficult process for removing that windings in the case of a shell type transformers. Okay, the construction is preferred for the low voltage transformers. Okay, these core type transformers are preferred only for the low voltage transformers, and shell type transformer, the construction is used for very high voltage transformers. Okay, it has the single magnetic core. In the core type transformer, we are using the single magnetic core. Okay, in the shell type, we are using the double magnetic core. Okay, in a single phase type, there are two limbs. There are two limbs. Okay, in a single phase type, the core has the 3 limbs. Okay, in that shell type transformer, we are using the 3 limbs. In the core type transformer, we are using the single limb. Okay, this is the difference between the core type and the shell type transformers, and this is the diagram for that core type and the shell type. Okay, this is the core type transformer, and this is the rectangular laminated core. One side we are connecting the primary, and other side we are connecting the secondary. Okay, there is no electrical connection between the primary and secondary winding, but it is magnetically coupled. Okay, but it is magnetically coupled. Okay, this is the flux flow direction for that primary winding to the secondary winding. Okay, next coming to the, this is the shell type transformer. Okay, we observe the difference between the core type and the shell type transformer in these figures. Okay, this is the primary and secondary windings are connected at the center of the limb in the shell type transformer. Okay, at that center of the limb, we are connecting both primary and the secondary windings. Okay, but in the core type transformer, we are connecting the one side is the primary, other side is the secondary. But in the shell type transformer, we are connecting the top and the bottoms for that primary and the secondary winding at the center of the limb. At the center of the limb. Okay, this is the cross-sectional view for that core type and the shell type transformers. Next, classifications on the base of a coolant. Okay, oil-filled self-cooled type and oil-filled water-cooled type and air blast type. Okay, these are the different types of a transformers on the basis of a cooling. Okay, oil-filled self-cooled type uses the small and medium size of distribution transformers. Okay, in the case of small and medium size transformers, okay, the cooling we are using as the oil-filled self-cooled type of coolant will be used in the transformers. Okay, the assembled windings and the core of such transformers are mounted. Okay, the oil-tight steel tanks are provided with the steel cover. Okay, in that we are using the tanks. Okay, the tank is filled with the purified high quantity insulating oil. Okay, this oil helps the transferring the heat from the core and the windings to the case from where it is to be radiant. Okay, this is the oil-filled self-cooled reactor. Okay, by using this oil-filled self-cooled reactor, we are increasing the coolant for that transformer, and this will be used only for the medium and the low voltage distribution transformers. Okay, in that case we are using that tank. Okay, that tank is filled with the oil and filled with a purified high quality insulating oil. Okay, this oil helps transferring the heat from the core to the winding. Okay, transferring the heat from the core to the windings. Next, oil-filled water-cooled type. Okay, in this type is used for the much more economic construction. Okay, this gives the more economic construction when compared to the oil-filled self-cooled reactors in the case of a large transformers. In the case of a large transformer, but this oil-filled self-cooled type of coolant transformers cost is more expensive. Okay, its cost is it has more expensive. Okay, the same method is used here as well as the windings and the core are immersed into the oil. Okay, in this case also we are using as the water, oil-filled water coolant. Okay, we are using that water and the oil, therefore we are giving the more cooling when compared to the oil-filled self-cooled type of reactors, but it having the less expensive. Okay, the same method is used here Well, the windings and core are immersed into the oil. Okay, in that core is laminated with the oil. The only difference is that a cooling coil is mounted near the surface of the oil. Okay, there is a one difference between the oil filled self cooled and the oil filled water cooled. That is the cooling coil is mounted near the surface of the oil, through which cold water keeps circulating. Okay, in that the cooling water is circulating for that core. Okay, this water carries the heat from the device. Okay, therefore that water carries the heat from the device. Okay, this design is usually implemented on the transformers that are used in the high voltage lines. Okay, by using these oil filled water cooled reactors, we are using the oil and the water for the cooling purpose. Okay, what is the difference between oil filled self cooled and oil filled water cooled type of reactors is the, okay, in that case we are using the water. Okay, that water is carries the heat from the device. Okay, the cooling is mounted near the surface of the oil, through which the cold water keeps circulating. Okay, in this case the cold water is keep circulating. Okay, therefore this reduce the cost by the hug amount by using that water. Okay, and another advantage is there, that is the maintenance and inspection of this type is only need once or twice a year. Okay, we require the less maintenance for that oil filled water cooled type of reactors. Okay, we are requiring the less maintenance. Okay, next type is the air blast type. Okay, next type is the air blast type. Okay, this type is used for the transformer that use voltages below 2500 volts. Okay, this air blast type of cooling we are using that is less than 25,000 volts. Okay, the transformer is housed in a thin sheet metal box. Okay, in this case the transformer is placed in the metal box, open at both ends, through which the air is blown from the heat will be dissipated. Okay, understand? These are the different types of a transformers that will be depending upon the coolant procedures. That will be depending upon the coolant methods. Okay, next coming to the phases. The transformers are classified into single phase transformer and three-phase transformer. Okay, this is the single-phase transformer and this is the three-phase transformers. First, coming to the single-phase transformer. Okay, this is the diagrammatical representation for that single-phase transformer. Okay, this is the rectangular core. In that rectangular core, one side we are connecting the primary winding and other side we are connecting the secondary winding. Okay, that primary winding is given to the supply voltage and secondary winding is given to the load. Okay, this is the single phase supply that will be given to the primary winding. Okay, single phase transformer, two or more windings coupled by a common magnetic core. Okay, in that case, we are using the two or more windings. Okay, that will be coupled by a common magnetic core. Okay, that will be coupled by a common magnetic core. Okay, next coming to the three-phase transformer, we are giving the three-phase supply. Normally, when the three-phase is required, a single enclosure with three primary and three secondary windings. Okay, in this case, we are requiring the three primary windings and the three secondary windings. Okay, that is the primary winding 1, primary winding 2, and primary winding C. Okay, that is A, B, C. Okay, this is the core. This is the core. Three primary and the three secondary windings wound on a common core is all that is required. However, three single-phase transformers with the same ratings can be connected to form a three-phase bank. Okay, otherwise we are using the three single-phase transformers that will be connected to in a bank. Since each single phase transformer has a primary and secondary winding, each single phase transformer having the primary and secondary winding. Therefore, in that case also we are using the 3 primary windings and 3 secondary windings. Then 3 single phase transformers will have the required 3 primary and 3 secondary windings and can be connected in the field either delta or delta to star. Okay, to achieve the 3-phase supply to the transformers. Okay, 3-phase transformer means in that we are using the 3 primaries and the 3 secondaries, or otherwise we are using the 3 single phase transformers. Okay, understand ma? Or otherwise we are using the 3 single phase transformers that will be connected together and form a transformer bank. Okay, in that bank also we are using the 3 primaries and the 3 secondaries. Okay, we fulfill the requirement of the 3-phase supply. Okay, understand ma? These are the classifications on the basis of the phases, that is single phase and the 3 phases. And this is the circuit diagram for the 3-phase transformer. Okay, in that case we are using 3 primaries, primary 1, primary 2 and primary 3, and in this case we are using the 3 secondaries, secondary 1, secondary 2, secondary 3. Next, coming to the another method of transformer is the ideal transformer. Okay, next coming to the another method of the transformer is the ideal transformer. First of all, ideal. Okay, what is meant by ideal? Ideal means perfect. Okay, perfect. Okay, without losses. Okay, when we are giving the input to any of the system, then the output will be reduced. Why the output will be reduced? Okay, due to the losses. Suppose we are considering as the transformer. Suppose we are considering as the transformer. Okay, this is the rectangular core. In the rectangular core, one side we are connecting the primary. Okay, this is the primary winding and this is the secondary winding. Okay, when we are giving the supply to that primary winding, okay, that is the AC supply. When we are giving the supply to the primary winding, the I1 current is flowing to that primary winding. Okay, due to that I1 current, the flux phi1 is produced. And according to the Faraday's laws, the EMF E1 is induced. Okay, this flux is linking to this coil also. Okay, this flux is linking to this coil also. Then the current, the flux produced in the secondary coil is the phi2. Why we are considering 2 different fluxes, that is phi1 and phi2 means, okay, we are, when the flux will be going from primary to the secondary, there is a some leakage of flux will be obtained. Okay, there is a some leakage of flux will be obtained. Why that leakage of flux will be obtained? That means, okay, why the leakage of flux will be obtained means, okay, when we are using that rectangular core, okay, due to that rectangular core, some leakages are obtained. Okay, due to that rectangular core, some leakages are obtained. Okay, therefore, the flux will be changed from phi1 to the phi2. Okay, therefore, when we are giving the input to this transformer, okay, the output will be reduced. Why? Because means, okay, the due to that losses, okay, due to the output will be reduced. Okay, without losses, the output will be equal to the input. Okay, an ideal transformer is a transformer which has no losses. Okay, it is a transformer which has no losses. If it has no losses means the input is equal to the output. Okay, it has no losses means the input will be equal to the output. Okay, it has no ohmic resistance and no magnetic leakages, and therefore no I square R losses and the core losses. Okay, without obtaining the no losses, okay, therefore then the transformer is mentioned as the ideal transformer. Okay, what is meant by ideal transformer? There is no losses in that transformer. Okay, what is that losses? Ohmic losses, magnetic leakage losses, I square R losses and core losses. Okay, there is no losses in that transformer. Then the transformer is named as the ideal transformer. Okay, then the transformer is named as the ideal transformer. Okay, therefore it is impossible to realize such transformers in practice. Why? Because it is impossible. There is no leakage of magnetic flux in that core. Okay, that's why it is not possible in practice, but only in assumption point of view we are knowing that ideal transformer. Okay, in the assumption point of view only we are studying the ideal transformer. Okay, the approximate characteristic for ideal transformer used in the characterize that is the this is the symbol for the transformer, and this is the primary winding and this is the secondary winding. When we are giving that AC supply to the primary winding, when we are applying that voltage, the current I1 is flowing through this primary winding. Okay, therefore, due to that I1 current, some flux is produced. That flux is linked through that secondary winding due to that core. Why? Because both the windings are connected magnetically. Okay, that is, both the windings are magnetically coupled to each other. Okay, if the windings are magnetically coupled, then the flux will be linked to each other. Okay, due to that linkage of that flux, okay, therefore E2 EMF is induced in the secondary winding also. But in the case of ideal transformer, there is no leakages in the core or the windings. Are the input or the core I square R losses. There is no I square R losses in the ideal transformer. Okay, that's why E1 is equal to the E2. Okay, in the case of a ideal transformer, ideal means perfect. That means no losses. Okay, in the case of a ideal transformer, E1 is equal to the E2. E1 is equal to E2. Okay, what is meant by the E1? EMF induced in the primary winding. Okay, what is the E2? EMF induced in the secondary winding. Okay, in the ideal transformer, both the induced EMFs in the primary and secondary are equal. Why? Because there is no losses. There is no leakage of flux. Okay, therefore, same flux will be linking to the secondary winding also. Therefore, same flux will be linking both the coils means same EMF is induced. Okay, this type of transformer is known as the ideal transformer. Okay, understand ma? In that V is the primary voltage, V2 is secondary voltage, E1 is primary induced voltage, E2 is secondary induced voltage, and N1 and N2 are the transformation ratios. Okay, if the number of turns in the primary and secondary are equal, therefore E1 is equal to E2 in the case of the ideal transformer. But it is not practically possible. Only we are studying theoretically. These are the different types of transformers. Okay, and the basis of phases, the transformers are classified into single phase, three phase. Based upon the core, it will be classified into core type and the shell type. Based upon the cooling, it will be classified into self-cooled, air-cooled, and oil-cooled transformers. And another type of transformer is the ideal transformer. It is not practically possible, but it will be only in the study purpose. Okay, ideal means no losses. Okay, without obtaining the losses, the output will be produced. Therefore, input is equal to output for in the case of a ideal transformer. Okay, understand? That is the classification of a transformer. Okay, these are the various types of classifications in the case of a transformers. Single phase, three phase, core type, shell type, self-cooled, air-cooled, oil-cooled, and the ideal transformers. Okay, in the next class, we discuss about the what is the EMF equation of the transformer and some problems that will be related to the EMF equation of a transformer. Okay, what is the formula for that EMF that will be induced in the transformers? Okay, that all will be discussed in the next coming classes. Okay, these are the various classifications that will be obtained in the case of a transformers. Okay, this is the basic constructional diagram for that core type and the shell type. Okay, this is the core type transformer and this is the shell type transformer. The core type transformer is used only for the low voltages and the medium voltages. The shell type transformer is used for the high voltages. Okay, this is the single phase and this is the three-phase transformer. Okay, in the three-phase transformer, we are using the 3 primaries and the 3 secondaries, or otherwise we are using the 3 single phase transformers that will be formed by a bank, transformer bank. Okay, this is the 3 phase and the single phase transformers, and this is the ideal transformer. But the ideal transformer, okay, it is not possible in the case of a practical point of view, but only it will be possible in the study purpose only. Ideal means the perfect, that means no losses. Okay, therefore the efficiency for that ideal transformer is 100%. Therefore input will be equal to the output. Okay, that means the EMF induced in the primary winding is equal to the EMF induced in the secondary windings. Okay, if the n is the number of turns in the primary winding and the n2 is the number of turns in the secondary winding, if n1 is equal to the n2, therefore the input will be equal to the output in the case of the ideal transformer. Why? Because this will be equal means no losses. Okay, here basically we are having no ohmic resistance losses, no leakage losses, and no I square R losses and the no core losses. And this is the comparison between the core type and the shell type transformers. A difference between the core type and shell type transformers, and this is the diagram for that core type and the shell type transformers. Okay, in the next class we will discuss about the EMF equation. How we will derive the EMF equation and what is the formula for EMF that will be induced in the transformers, that all will be discussed. Okay, thank you.
अरे